back, ladies and gentlemen. Better than ever. This is the South Carolina Live Call-In Show. This is yours truly, Lucas Hill, joining you every single Wednesday and Friday afternoon to talk all things Gamecock football. Open phone lines. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. 225-892-2384, 225-892-2384. We will take your calls, take your comments, take your anything, ladies and gentlemen, for the next several minutes. And if you want to join in the show via StreamYard, the link is in the comments section now. So we are live with that. Consider making sure you join us if you choose to do so. So, guys, really, really excited to break this all down with you guys. So, always a pleasure whenever you guys get to come and check us out here on our call-in show. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure whenever you guys get inside of our chat and talk some Gamecock football. We will continue to take your calls, take your super chats, take whatever it is that you guys want to talk about as we get closer and closer to kickoff. We are 24 days away, ladies and gentlemen. We are excited for it. And we have a lot to talk about today, but that's nothing new here on South Carolina Live with Voice of College Football, because we always got something to talk about whenever it comes to the Gamecocks. Everybody do us a favor. If you're in the live chat, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Turn on that bell notification so that you are notified every time we post a new video here on South Carolina Live at the Voice of College Football. Always want to thank our good friends over at Amazon for sponsoring our videos. Always thank you very much for just giving us the best resources for content-wise, giving us the best opportunities to continue further. And with that, here's Mark with some more on our good friends at Amazon.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
So I did want to talk about our membership status and our membership badges that we have. So let's see if I can pull this up. So for $2.99, you get to join our 2001 club. So you'll get a loyalty badge next to your name in the comments and in the live chat, and you'll get a member shout out as well. If you decide to join our Beamer Ballers Club, which is $4.99 a month, you will get access to all of those levels in 2001, plus priority replies to comments. And then if you want to join the Fun and Gunners Club for $9.99 a month, we can connect on social media, and we will fulfill your content requests every time you give us an opportunity to fulfill those opportunities. So again, thank you all for continuing to support the Voice of College Football. We continue to showcase the best in all things Gamecock football. So we're excited for what is the future of this channel and continuing on with what we got going on as we are 24 days away from the start of college football season, the start of the Gamecocks kicking off in Atlanta, Georgia for the Aflac kickoff game as they face the Virginia Tech Hokies. So always going to be a fun game. Always again. We'll get into a little bit of what to talk about today. We'll talk about a little bit about the coaches poll that just came out earlier this week. We'll talk about South Carolina being 13th in that poll. We'll talk about what the future of that poll is going to look like. Always awesome to see a little bit of coaches poll action always being shown. But again, in my opinion, coaches polls really don't matter until we actually get to the actual games. So once we get to that first game of the season, that's when the polls are going to get real. That's when we're going to really start to see where this Gamecock team can really hit their stride. Few clips we'll show you about what's going on over at fall camp. So I do want to highlight that. This is Lenoris working with their connections at this morning's fall camp practice. I think it's Mazio. No, that's Nick. My bad. And look, man, there's so much potential with this group, man. I'm really excited for what this group is going to bring. And we talked about this if you tuned in to Wednesday's show, me and JB were talking about how this could be one of the best receiving cores in the SEC. A lot of guys were very high on where they had South Carolina at the end of the day. We talked with Phil Steele earlier today, and he called Lenore Seller Superman. They said he kept calling him Superman in the backfield. So I think that's what's so funny. And we have our first caller of the day, and it's none other than he's a regular on Bama. He's a regular on Michigan. I think this is his first time on South Carolina. Caden the Diesel Free. What's up, Caden?
Hey, Lucas, you wouldn't believe what I had to listen to last night. The BS I had to listen to last night, courtesy of your buddy Jackson Johnson, which I'm telling you, blew me out of my mind.
Okay, what did he say? I didn't listen to the show.
But I'm going to be honest with you, Lucas, I don't want to get into it because it made my head explode, and I'm not going to have another brain explosion.
I need context, Caden. What did he say?
Oh, he's like, he's saying that I was giving my takes on Ohio State and what we're going to do this season.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what I'm saying is like identically false and like we're going to not beat Bama so bad in 27. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me?
Man, we're a whole 2 years from that. Y'all worried about that already?
No, I'm just telling Jackson Johnson that it's a 100% guarantee Bama's going to lose to OSU.
You said that they're going to – so what does that have to do with Ohio State?
As far as Ohio State's going, I told them that we're either going to go 11-1 or undefeated this season. And I told them we're beating Texas in a blowout. And I'm telling you, it is not going to be a close point game against Texas. It's going to be a blowout.
I'll say this. You know who was on my show earlier? Phil Steele. I asked him between Ohio State and Alabama who had the better core behind a young quarterback. He said Alabama.
Phil Steele said Alabama.
Yes. I got the clip.
Is that guy an idiot, or is he just really not a fan of Ohio State?
I mean, he's been doing college football previews for over 30 years, so I mean, I get he has some sort of credibility to him. So
I think it's just honestly he's not a fan of Ohio State. But that's fine. Because I told Jackson Johnson, when you have a defense like Ohio State's and what they were doing over the last month, really getting ready to rock and roll this season.
Okay.
I mean, let's be truthfully honest, Lucas. Yeah. There's a defense that's winning games a majority of this season minus the offense. And I'm pretty confident in our quarterbacks, in our quarterback situation. And as far as our receivers go, our receivers are not only going to make our offense more elite, but also getting that offensive line. Excuse me, our offensive line is going to be elite as well. So I have no worries about Ohio State as far as I'm concerned this season. And Jackson Johnson's like saying I should be worried about playing Texas. We whooped Texas last year in the playoffs, and we're about to whoop Texas again August 30th. So, I mean, I don't really see why I should worry about our schedule. Because, let's be honest, the Big Ten can't schedule good teams against Ohio State. Truthfully told.
I think you can.
I tried asking OSU to schedule people that are good. But, unfortunately, the Big Ten don't want to schedule nobody. Because either they're just afraid to come up to...
Wait. Hold your thought there, Caden. You said you asked LSU to schedule good teams?
No, I asked Ohio State, OSU. I said OSU.
OSU, okay.
OSU, like Ohio State University. Their athletic department.
I get your point.
I asked them, but unfortunately, either they don't want to because they don't, A, want the smoke, or B, they just don't got the balls to, or 2, they got other things, or maybe they just are on a financial downfall.
There you go.
Either one.
Say your third point with the financial downfall. Continue.
And as far as you South Carolina fans go, let's be straight up honest. Mm-hmm. Do you really think that you guys will have a good chance of either making it to the playoffs or even beating a defensive team that has whooped you guys not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times, has beaten y'all bad in Georgia? I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I've said
that I've been real about where South Carolina is. I said 8-4.
Well, you know what? Some of your South Carolina fans on here are a little too arrogant, and I'm going to be straight up honest.
Okay.
Now, I know you said you think 8-4, which I'll give you credit. You're at least one of the smarter SEC fans in this network. Unfortunately, Jackson Johnson is a little arrogant because, well, he's a Crimson Tide fan.
I don't think that's true, but okay.
Well, listen, Lucas, it's my opinion. I mean, am I allowed to have my opinion about people?
That it's your opinion, but I'm also responding to your opinion as well. But please continue.
And Matthew Miller claims that Texas is going to come into Ohio Stadium and beat us. Yeah, good luck when Arch Manning gets sacked 12 times by Ohio State and we whoop y'all. Oh, let's see. What do I have you guys going? Losing Ohio State. Oh, yeah, 49-17. Y'all are losing 49-17 to Ohio State. And that is a no-question-asked score.
49-17 is a pretty bold claim. I'll say that.
Bold?
Yes.
That's a good answer because Ohio State's defense is going to come in early to that game, whoop Arch Manning and his offensive team in the first couple of quarters, and that's all that's left is for Jeremiah Smith to just clear the road out, and we've got an easy win in week 1. And the rest of the schedule, just handle business as usual. That's all Ohio State does is handle business, win, and that's all you got to know. And there's 2 things that this team is going to do this year. Win and win a national championship. That's all that matters.
So it really is just one thing then.
2 things.
But you're also winning if you win a national championship. So it's really one.
Well, I mean, we're going to steamroll the schedule, let's be honest. Because Penn State ain't going to do shit. Like, I'm just being straight up honest here, Lucas. I'm just being straight up honest.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with your take there, but I mean, I do think it's D-Day for James Franklin to finally win something other than just getting to a playoff. But I mean, even if you do lose to Ohio State this year, that doesn't mean you're out of a chance for winning a national championship. You just got to avoid playing Ohio State again.
Well, that's the problem on Penn State is that they can't win against us by any means necessary for the last couple of years. And I'll be straight up honest. Your buddy Jackson Johnson here thinking, Alabama's going to do something this year. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, good luck, because you got Georgia to deal with this year in Sanford, and I know they're going to beat the living hell out of y'all. And I'm just being straight up honest.
Time out. Who is going to beat the living hell out of us?
I'm saying Georgia's going to beat the living hell out of Alabama.
Oh, okay. Why do you think that that's the case?
Why do I think that's the case?
Yes.
So I feel like this year is where Georgia's really going to turn the tables on the SEC. And not only do that, they're going to win their games, win the games that they lost last year. So Ole Miss, Bama, and then whoever else they lost to, beat them, go undefeated in the SEC, win the SEC title, undefeated, and then either play us or somebody in the playoffs.
Okay.
I mean, a little bit bold, as you say, bold, but you know what? I got a bigger set of balls on me to say it than at least most people on this platform. Just being truthful. Just being truthful, Lucas.
I would also call it bold to say that you think Georgia's going to beat Bama when you're talking about a Bama team that is going to return a lot of production this upcoming year. When you talk about what you have overall in that receiving core, let me pause for a minute, Caden. I'm going to give you some stats. Alabama, in my opinion, has one of the deepest receiving rooms in the SEC. When you talk about Jeremy Bernard, when you talk about Jalen Mbakwe, when you talk about a pro. Caden, I got one of my friends that's texting me right now. He said, I'm watching and listening to this idiot.
Is that all he's got? Is that the best insult he's got? Because I've heard worse insults than that moron.
I would not call him a moron. I actually like this guy.
Well, you know what? I'm calling him out for it, Lucas. So you understand, I got a lot more balls than anybody thinks I do.
Not compared to him. Okay. So thank you for the call, Caden. All right. That was Caden the Diesel Freak, who decided to hop on in and talk some South Carolina football with us. Open phone lines are back open. 225-892-2384, 225-892-2384. Shout out to my buddy Steve Easterlin for tuning on in. Love you, Steve. You're the best, brother. All right, let's continue with what we got going on today. Open phone lines are back up at 225-892-2384. I mentioned this about South Carolina plenty of times. And I mentioned this, well, let me go back to what Caden was saying earlier before he ended up leaving. We talk about what happened with what Alabama's receiving core has. This is a very deep core with Ryan Williams, with Jalen Mbakwe, with Jeremy Bernard. Now you bring in Isaiah Horton from Miami, who has a lot of experience, who is a very, very reliable source. He was almost treated like a second or third option whenever he was at Miami for Cam Ward. All the talk was on Xavier Restrepo and all the other receivers that you had. But I think with what you have, with what he's going to be at Bama, that's another added piece of experience that is already going to help elevate this receiving core further. With what you have already, with a program like Alabama, with a program like And when you compare them to South Carolina, the depth that they have at the end of the day is going to be incredible. That's the bottom line, guys. I mean, when you look at where they stand overall as a program, there's no question in my mind why I think that Alabama is going to have one of the deepest rosters in college football. Caden's back, by the way. What else you got, dude?
Well, I was just gonna say sorry about the early lead there. I accidentally clicked off, and I was just gonna finish. I was gonna absolutely finish what I was gonna say. And there's a few people I needed to call out. If you got a minute.
Who do you need to call out?
First of all, the Michigan channel on the Voice of College Football Network. You want to call me the most dumb OSU fan on this channel? All right, well, let's start off with this. I'll say this to you fellas. First of all, okay, it's true. I may not get women, but okay, well, so what? I'm still kicking in, and I'm still kicking ass, raising hell, taking their own names, and I'm handling business. And then the second of all is the Alabama channel. Johnny Burks, Jackson Johnson, and Jeffrey of Only Sports Talk. And you want to claim that I'm crazy? Okay, well, let's talk about all the Alabama fans that you follow on Twitter, because I've seen all y'all's crap on Twitter. And by the way, Lucas Hill, I follow you on Twitter, by the way.
Oh, do you?
I do. At Hollywood Caden, the final boss. If you're curious about my Twitter, yes, I do follow you. I watch all your South Carolina posts. And you want to say I'm the absolute worst fan to call on into the Voice of College Football Network? Really?
I don't even know if TJ's even listening right now, to be honest with you, but go ahead.
At least you could pass on the message, Lucas, since you called on to the Michigan show and you talked to them fellas in a previous time before in the last week or so. But Jackson Johnson, you want to come up in here say you're the golden Alabama boy and that you absolutely not 100% certain that Alabama's team is a better team than Ohio State? Yeah, either you lost a few brain cells or you have so much dog crap up in your skull. Because Alabama's not an elite roster. An elite roster is Ohio State. Defensive-wise, offensive-wise, and they can play 60 minutes of no-excuse football. And plus, where's your national championship ring? I didn't see you in the national championship race, so I don't want to hear it.
You talking about Michigan?
No, I'm talking about Alabama.
Oh, okay.
And especially the Michigan fans. They are really delusional, Lucas. Delusional.
Michigan fans are delusional.
Ding 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 ding. You just hit the nail on the head there, buddy. Congratulations.
I'll just remind you that Michigan has beaten Ohio State 4 times in a row, but continue, please.
We have a national championship ring. They don't, so they don't need to be talking.
You also have not beaten Michigan in 4 years, but continue. National championships are great. National championships are great, brother. But let me tell you something about championships that are great. That's great that you win a natty. No question about that. Go back to the 60s whenever you had the Lakers that finally got over the hump. They finally won an NBA title. Jerry West said it best. It was cool that it wasn't the best feeling in the world that they got because he'd rather beat the Celtics too in the finals. The same could potentially be said for Ohio State when it comes to Michigan. Just saying. National championships are great. Congratulations. One of the best runs that we've seen. Probably one of the best Cinderella runs, in my opinion, knowing the circumstances that you all had to go through going into that last year's CFP. But it would have been also nice if you'd beat your rival for the first time since 2020. Yeah, 2020.
2021, actually.
No, you lost in 2021.
Because 2020 we didn't play because of COVID.
Well, then 2019 then.
Now you got it correct. But and the second thing here is, Lucas, to the South Carolina fans that are talking all this huge crap about South Carolina's coming back, South Carolina is going to do this. Y'all are going 8-4 and ain't making the playoffs. I don't want to hear any of you South Carolina fans that are dumb and so delusional up in here talking like you ain't got nothing else. Brother, you guys haven't been irrelevant since the 80s.
We've been irrelevant.
So I don't want to hear it.
You said South Carolina hasn't been relevant since the 80s?
Ding, 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 ding.
So I'm guessing we're forgetting about the Steve Spurrier era? Okay. Sounds good.
Steve Spurrier, oh my God. They talk about Steve Spurrier like he's going to come back and save the program. Oh my God. I don't want to hear it no more.
Let the Big Ten up over and over and over again. Just saying. Steve Spurrier is the reason why from 2009 and 2013, why you were a consistent contender in the SEC East and you were consistently a top 10 program at the end of the day. You talk about a program that from 2011 and 2013, you had 3 straight 11-win seasons. Take that into consideration.
Yeah, a Cinderella run in the SEC. That's what South Carolina did.
It's not even a Cinderella run either, to be honest with you. It's just being able to recruit at a high level in the SEC. Ever heard of Jadeveon Clowney? Ever heard of Melvin Ingram? Ever heard of Stephon Gilmore? Guys like that, they go to South Carolina. They stay in the South Carolina area. That's the thing that we have, that South Carolina has to bring back when it comes to this era right now. And unfortunately, I mean, you haven't had that as of late. But now when you look at this 25 and 26 class for South Carolina, you're starting to bring some of that back. 14 commits, sure. It's not a lot, but you're still early on in the recruiting process. You got a whole 3 or 4 months of flips to have. And then once you get to signing day in December, quality over quantity is what matters at the end of the day. It's what it was in the Spurrier era. Same thing can be said for the Beamer era.
And the last thing I'll say, and one of the last things I'll say is, I am holding an open invitation to any of the VOCFB hosts that would have come shit talk me next Sunday at 4 p.m.
I'm working.
So that means
Caden, are you in Eastern time or are you in Central time?
Eastern time.
Okay, well,
oh, what do you mean? Never mind.
I'm in Central time. I thought I wasn't going to be able to make it. I might show up. We'll see.
I'm going to hold an invitation so you can let everybody, the host, know of the Michigan, SEC, Alabama channel that if they want to come talk shit to me on next Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that would be about 5 p.m. Central Time, you can do so. And there's no rules to it. It's if you want to say your shit, say your shit. Other than that, it's no rules.
Thank you, Caden, for the invite, brother.
And as always, go Bucks. We're the champs. And South Carolina, you guys can go off back to the beach where you belong, down there in Myrtle Beach, where the Clemson players belong. Y'all can go to the beaches because us boys up here are in the weight room getting shit done while y'all are at the beach, just tanning off and showing off to the women. Because we're in the weight room getting shit done, boys.
Oh, I thought y'all were just trying to showing off for the boys. That's all I was saying.
Nah, we're just preparing to whoop everybody's ass. That's the bottom line.
Okay.
What? South Carolina can't whoop ass anymore. Look at this dude's face. Oh my my God. He just got lit up.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
This dude just got destroyed by an Ohio State fan. Oh, my God.
I got destroyed
Lucas
by an Ohio State fan, but okay, cool.
Lucas Hill just got his ass verbally whooped by Ohio State that it got destroyed. Oh my God. Oh man, Lucas, I cannot believe you don't got any good comebacks because oh my God, I was waiting for you to say something else. And I guess you don't have anything else, but I'll leave it to you.
You want me to call him? I didn't think so. Wow, that was something. But thank you for the call. Yeah, that was great. What do you do? All right. Open phone lines, open everything at this point. 225-892-2384. If you want to call in, click the link in the comments section. Wow, my head hurts now. Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, this is what I deal with. But hey, it is what it is. So LaDamian Guyton is expected to make $900,000 as a freshman. This kid hasn't stepped on the field yet, and we're giving him nearly $1 million. Number one edge rusher in the country is getting offered $900,000 to go play football. Can somebody give me $900,000 so that I can go play football? Please. Please. Christian Jackson is expected to commit the number one wide receiver in the state of South Carolina. I think it's the number 28 overall in the nation, has just released his graphic with all of the offers that he has at this point in time. It's a lot, man. And Christian Jackson's a damn good ball player. Christian Jackson is one of those guys that I think can really make an impact on the spot for South Carolina. One of the best receivers in the nation, the number 4, the 4-star, just released his graphic. Florida, Toledo, Penn State, Sac State, Wisconsin, Maryland, Marshall, Rutgers, Michigan State, Coastal Carolina, South Carolina, Miami of Ohio, Charlotte, Boston College, Virginia Tech, Liberty, Buffalo, Georgia Tech, and Eastern Carolina. So it looks like from where we are right here, I do want to say that this could be a sign of what's to come. This could be his Final Four with Penn State, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, Georgia, and Florida. But do not count me out on this because look, I'm reading the hidden messages at this point in time. I do think that he is going to end up in the SEC. I don't know if he's going to end up in Big Ten country at the end of the day. I like where the development of this kid has been. 5'11", 180 pounds, the number 6 overall player in the state of South Carolina. The guy is a ball player. I mean, an absolute monster on the outside. Averaged over 15 yards a catch, 49 for 737 and 10 scores last year as a junior. Actually, it's the Howard Bison that offered him instead. One of the first to offer him at the beginning of the year was South Carolina. That was actually, I think, his first SEC offer that he got was from South Carolina. So if that tells you anything that you need to expect from this kid, is that he may end up being a Carolina guy. He's got offers I think he wants to stay around these Carolina areas. So whether he ends up with Liberty, with VT, with Coastal, or with South Carolina, I think that's where he's going to end up staying at the end of the day. Just being a realist about that. But again, I'm not completely 100% on that, but I look at where he is right now, with this program, and I think that it's going to be a interesting time in place. Okay, so this is an interesting one, according to Brian Kelly. Garrett Nussmeier has been diagnosed with a patellar tendonitis. So it's basically that he's got jumper's knee. So it's an injury to the tissue connecting to the kneecap to the shin bone, according to the patella tendon. It's going to cause swelling in the knee, pain with activities like jumping, running, or walking, pain when you're bending or straightening the leg, and tenderness behind the kneecap. So likely he's going to end up getting some knee support, going to do some PT. They're probably going to sit him for the rest of training camp. I do expect, or for the rest of fall camp, I do expect for that to be a thing. I don't know if that he's going to be back for the entirety of fall camp, in my opinion. I think once they get to prep week and walkthroughs, that's when we're going to see more of him getting back into that groove, getting back into shells, which is basically shorts and shoulder pads and jersey and helmet, getting back into there. I don't expect him to take any more snaps for at least all of next week. We'll see what happens when we get to, I think that game week is like 2.5 weeks away, because I think they play on the 31st. LSU does. But do correct me if I'm wrong, though. I could be completely incorrect, but we'll see with that one. Yes. I'm looking at the calendar right now. Because I think that, so yeah, game week is 1, 2, 3 weeks away. So prep week, he'll sit out for at least the next week and a half. And then once we get to maybe August 20th or the 21st, that's when we're going to start to see some more reps that he's going to take under center. I think he's going to get more comfortable once we get back into game week. Like I said, man, I mean, it's just a truth that you have to understand. But again, we'll see with what doctors want to do. We'll see what they want to evaluate him at the end of the day with the guys. We'll see, man. We'll see. But I do think that at the end of the day, Nussmeier is going to be back. He's fine. I don't expect anything massive to come out of camp to be affected and affect his play overall. But again, we just have to see, man. Do I think that he's going to be fine? Yes, I do. But I also have to be on the precautionary side and understand that it's not going to be smart if you end up playing him throughout the rest of camp. So I'd basically give him a week off, let him rehab that leg, and we'll see what happens. Who are my breakout stars for South Carolina going into 2025? By the way, guys, open phone lines. Let me get your thoughts. 225-892-2384, 225-892-2384, or go to the call-in link in the description, or click the link on the X account. Let me go ahead and post the StreamYard link in our bio, by the way, guys. Let me go ahead and do that real fast before we continue on. But I do think overall that this is a program that is going to continue to get better And I think that with what you have coming back is going to be impressive. Judge Collier, in my opinion, is a guy that went completely under the radar last year. Second team All SEC according to College Football Nation. This kid, opposite of what you have overall on your roster with guys like him, with DQ Smith, who's going to be a dog. Obviously, you know about with DeMarcus Leach, what he's going to do. With Jalen Kilgore. On the opposite side of the field, all three of these guys have an opportunity to develop and be one of the best DB rooms that South Carolina has. Guys, I think Judge Collier is one of those guys that's going to float under the radar. Is going to continue to float under the radar for the rest of the season. Because all the attention is going to be on Dylan Stewart. The attention is going to be on the front four to see how they perform. Everybody's going to be paying attention to the linebacking core. They're going to forget that, in my opinion, South Carolina has one of the best DB rooms in the SEC. And that's saying a lot, knowing where the SEC is as a whole in regards to basically where you are as a program with how you've developed defensive backs lately. And it goes to show you how good of a job that Clayton White has done with this defense and how he's developed dudes at the next level and how he's going to continue to do that as long as these athletes are continuing to come to Columbia. So I'm really, really, really excited for that DB room. So I figured since we have 3 weeks left until the start of the season, let's preview a little bit of Virginia Tech. I do want to kind of do a mock preview of them to give you as a whole with what type of program that VT is, because I know many of you are going to go into 2025 and then you're going to be like, well, what the hell? What the hell are we going into? Well, this is a program that last year, when you look at Virginia Tech in 2025, when their third year with Brent Pry at the helm, sure, you went to a bowl game. Guys, you had a lot of missed opportunities. I mean, a lot when it came to Virginia Tech. You had 5 games out of your 7 losses that were determined by 1 possession, 2 in overtime, and a Duke game and a Rutgers game that came down to the wire. So I think that as a whole, there is quite a bit that you have to rely on, because Virginia Tech, guys, they return a lot of talent. You're going to lose a great a talented running back in Bizul Tootin, who's now in the NFL. Kyron Drones is back, though, for his redshirt senior year. He returned to Blacksburg for a reason. Had a down year in 2024, missed most of the season due to injury, but still high completion percentage and can run the football effectively. He's a guy that can get outside the pocket. He's not exactly what you expect from a guy like Lenora Sellers, but he's one of those guys that can get outside and can make plays with his feet. That's the number one thing that you're going to expect with what Virginia Tech wants to do. You got rid of Tyler Bowen, who went with Brent Pry from Penn State, who was his co-offensive coordinator there. And you brought in Chris Marv, who was with Florida State as their linebackers coach. They're gone. It was a disaster with those two. Now you bring in a whole new coaching staff with Sam Sipes, who came from Arizona as the linebackers coach. Hasn't been in the college game as a coordinator since 2020 whenever he was with Wofford at the FCS as their defensive coordinator. This is going to be his first P4 defensive coordinator job that he's ever had. Everything else, he's been with Wisconsin Platteville at the D3 level, been with Wofford at the FCS level, and for the last 4 years, he's been with Minnesota in 21 and 22 and was with Arizona in 23 and 24. So having to replace a lot of guys that were considered disasters at Virginia Tech, it's nothing new that he's had to do. He's had to take over for a guy like Shell Wood, who was really damn good at Wofford for a season before he went on to be Georgia Tech's safeties coach. Guys, that was one of the best defenses in all the FCS from 2018 to 2020. Was one of the absolute best defensive minds in college football. Actually, he hasn't called in a full season as a DC since 2019. How will that affect him? We'll see what happens there. Philip Montgomery, a guy that I thought was a really interesting hire. And he's been a former Tulsa head coach, led them to a 10-win season in 2016. Did win a title earlier in the season in the 2020 year. That was when Tulsa went in 2020, and I think they were in the top 25 at one point, beat UCF and SMU, went to the American Championships, took it to Cincinnati earlier, and then got in that fight with Mississippi State, which is awesome. But Philip Montgomery has been a well-tenured coach. He's been around the game for a while. He's a dang good coach, in my opinion. Really, really good coach. Was with Auburn as his last P4 offensive coordinator job. Was with Baylor for a little bit back during the Corey Coleman / Bryce Petty era. So he's been around some damn good offenses. Was with around the Texas high school ranks. Been from Stevensville to Denton before he ended up at the University of Houston for a little bit. Then followed his way over to Baylor, where, by the way, he was co-offensive coordinator when RG3 won the Heisman. Now, I'm not saying Kyron Drones is exactly what you expect from a guy like RG3. Drones is a bit bigger. His older maternal cousin, believe it or not, is Cam Ward, believe it or not. But was with the Birmingham Stallions last year as their offensive coordinator in 2024. Led them to a pretty good season. That's when they won the UFL championship. That was when you went through. And from somebody that watches the UFL, you may be thinking, well, what the hell does Philip Montgomery have to do with the UFL? Well, you worked with two different quarterbacks at the beginning, with Matt Corral, and then Adrian Martinez took over once Matt Corral couldn't get it done after the game against the Michigan Panthers. And in week 3, Adrian Martinez pops off. He's named UFL MVP. He ends up being the league leader in rushing that same year. They end up winning the UFL championship that same season. So, in my opinion, I think that with a guy like Philip Montgomery, who has been around so many different leagues and seeing what he's done with mobile quarterbacks, he's going to help elevate Kyron Drones' game to a whole new level. This was a Virginia Tech offense that had its moments last year. Really thought that you could potentially get some big wins down the stretch. That opening game against South Carolina is going to be interesting, knowing what this young offensive line is going to do against this young defensive line that South Carolina has at the end of the day. Drones is a damn good player. He's got receivers around him that can effectively get him the football and be effective as a whole. At the end of the day, we talk about guys like Dante Lovett, who can break off big runs, guys that can really, Dante Lovett at the cornerback position, that can be one of the best defensive players in the ACC. You look at a lot of other guys that you're really excited to see from a offensive standpoint, to see if they have any improvement from the last couple of years. That's essentially what you want to see from this program. That's essentially what you want to see when you talk about Virginia Tech. You know, this is a program that in 7 or fewer games, they're 1-12. Can Virginia Tech get over the hump? You know, you're talking about a program that was injury plagued throughout the year. They didn't lose a regular season game by more than 10 points for the first time since 2010. That's essentially what you have to do at the end of the day. Yes, you lost a loss. You lost Mansour Delane. Absolutely sucks that you lost him at the end of the day. But we'll see what Vandy does, man, or what Virginia Tech does in their opening game. I think that they're going to be a very interesting team come that first game of the season. Man, VT has a really, really interesting stretch for what they can do at the end of the day. Virginia Tech is going to be damn good, but you really haven't been able to recruit at a high level, man. So something has to change. Is this the year that you can finally get over the hump if you're Virginia Tech? We'll do a full game breakdown once we get into game week. We'll have our projections for you. We'll do videos on a consistent basis for it. But apart from that, guys, I mean, that's really all I have when it comes to Virginia Tech. Is the bottom line for them is, can you get over that hump? You're 1-12 under Brent Pry when games decided by 7 points or less. You have to finish. Finish has to be the mantra that Virginia Tech has. If you're South Carolina, you got to come out, punch them in the mouth early on, and keep the foot on the gas pedal. That's what's going to win you a game at the end of the day. I do have South Carolina winning this one. We'll get into more when our full game breakdown. We'll get our full game analysis once we get to game week. Guys, 3 weeks away from game day for the South Carolina Gamecocks as they face the Virginia Tech Hokies in the opening game of the Aflac Kickoff game. Excited to see you all there. Excited to break it down. Thank you guys for tuning in once again on another great episode of South Carolina's Live's call-in show. Make sure you do us a favor. Leave your super chats. Leave your comments, suggestions, whatever it is, down in the comment section below. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate the love and support that you guys have shown us over the last several weeks. We continue to grow as an audience. Excited to get after it, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you all very soon. Y'all have a great rest of the day.